Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the second day of the International Conference on Advanced Information Technology and Communication 2021, held by Faculty of Engineering and Computer Sciences, Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia. This event is in collaboration with Higher Education Service Region 2, Southern Sumatra, Ministry of Education, Culture, Research and Technology, Republic of Indonesia, and also the Associations of Indonesian Private Higher Education. Ladies and gentlemen, in honor to the national anthem, you are pleased to stay firm and to turn your camera on. Indonesia Raya. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the national anthem of Republic of Indonesia. And now let's begin the second days of the conference by saying Basmalah. Ladies and gentlemen, we proceed to the plenary session 3, 4, and follow with the last plenary session of the conference. With the speakers of the plenary session 3 will be Associate Professor Abhishek Rajesh Kumar Mehta from Parul University. Plenary session 4 will be Muhammad Lubis PhD IT from Telkom University. And last but not least is plenary session 5 will be Mr. Kotli Ja'far Adrian MIT from Teknokrat Indonesian University. And we're going to begin the conference or the plenary session of the conference with the moderator, Mr. Ahmad Ari Aldino, MSc. To Mr. Ahmad Ari Aldino, you are please.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second day of keynote speaker session of International Conference on Advanced Information Technology and Communication. Faculty of Engineering and Computer Science, Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Ahmad Aldino. I'm affiliated in Faculty of Engineering and Computer Science, Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia at Informatics Study Program, and I would be your moderator for this keynote speaker session. Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin our keynote speaker session, I would like to highlight several rules during the session for the audiences and presenters. 1. The session will be divided into 2 sessions, the presentation session and the Q&A session. 2. All of the audiences must turn the camera on. 3. All audiences must mute the audio until the Q&A session and are allowed by the committee and expected to remain calm and silent during the presentation. 4. The presenter has a maximum 30 minutes for presentation and 15 minutes of discussion session. We would like to remind the presenter in the 25th minute of the presentation. 5. The audience is allowed to give questions through our chat box with format name, affiliation, and questions during and after the presentation. And 6. The moderator will pick the questions from the chat box to be answered by the presenters. Today, in the keynote speaker session 2, we have Dr. Abhishek Rajesh Kumar Mehta. He is an associate professor from Parul Institute of Engineering and Technology. Hello, Dr. Mehta.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
I'm
how
here,
are
sir.
you, doctor?
Yeah, I'm fine, sir.
Okay, it's a pleasure to meet you, sir. Okay, so Dr. Abhishek Mehta works as an assistant professor in Parul Institute of Engineering and Technology. He has 9 years and 7 months of teaching experience. His basic qualification is BCA, Computer Science from Veranarmat South Gujarat University, and MCA from Sirmat Rajastra Institute of Management and Computer Application, Ukatasdia University. He's presently undertaken doctoral PhD in Sabarmati University on emerging technology of image processing and natural language processing. Apart from digital image processing, natural language processing, artificial intelligence, short code management, information system is the area of interest of his research, where could be prepared as systems that could be used in educational area. He has published more than 25 research papers in reputed and peer-reviewed national or international journals, presented more than 35 research papers in state, national, or international conferences, and delivered more than 56 expert talks in various refresher course, orientation course, workshop conducted by Parul University, Gujarat Technological University, and many more. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's give a big applause to our keynote speaker, Dr. Mehta. Dr. Mehta, you have 30 minutes for your presentation. Dr. Mehta, time's yours.
Yes, sir. Okay. Thank you so much, sir. So, good morning, one and all present over here. I would like to thank the organizing committee to give me the opportunity to share my knowledge with all the participants in this conference. So my today topic is natural language processing. So basically, as we are communicate with each other, so what is the natural language processing basically called as? So the natural language processing, that is basically the process information content in the natural language text. Also as the computational linguistic and the human language technology in natural language and engineering. So basically the natural language, we are communicating with each other, but when I communicate with the computer, when I communicate with the machine, then how the machine is translate and how the machine is identified that this language is one of the Indonesian language, or this language is the English language of the India, or that there are any other language. So the language, that is the one method of communication that helps to which can we speak, read, and write, and we make the decision, as well as the natural language is precisely in the words. And the front, as in the AI era, is we can communicate in the similar manner with the computers. We are communicate with the computers at the same time. How the computers can understand the language, as we are going for the speech recognition system. So in that speech recognition system, how the system is identifying our tones, how the system is identifying our language, how the system is identifying this is the pronouns and this is the verbs. So at the same time, in the computer science, in the information and technology, one domain is introduced, and the domain name is the natural language processing. So in the other word, can human being communicate with the computers in their natural language? So the answer is that is the one challenge to develop the NLP application, because the computer needs to structure the data, but the human speech is the unstructured and often ambiguous in the nature as we are communicate with each other. So there are many ambiguities are there. So how the system, how the computer science is going to recover this all the ambiguities at the time of processing. So in this sense, we can say that the natural language processing is the subfield of computer science, and especially in the artificial intelligence. That is the concern about the enabling computers to understand the process of human language. So here the NLP that is basically used for the how the computer can understand and process the human language, and based on that the one domain is introduced in the computer science and the IT, that is the natural language processing. So technically the main task of the NLP will be to program computers to analyzing, processing and huge amount of natural language data. So basically in the components of natural language processing, the natural language understanding, that is one component. So the mapping of inputted value in the natural language into useful representations and analyzing the different aspects of the languages. When I inputted any of the language in the computer, then in the machine, then how that machine is identified is how that machine is identified as the language. So at the same time, the components are how the system is understanding the natural language and how the system is generating that natural language. So in this process of producing the meaningful phrases and the sentences in the form of NL from the internal representation, and that involve the text planning. The text planning, that is the relevant content from the knowledge base. Here I'm going to present the content that is basically for the natural language processing. So the text planning that is based on the natural language processing. The sentence planning that is required the words forming meaningful phrases and the setting tone of the sentences. And the text realization, that is a sentence plan into the sentence structure, that is the sentence realization. So there's three main aspects that is used for the natural language generation in the CS and the IT. Now the NLP for machines, when I want to communicate with the machines with the natural language processing, that how that machine is identified, this one is the language. So analyzing, understanding and generate the human language just like the human do. Same like the robot. When I communicate with one of the robot, then the robot is understanding my language, how the human are interact with that robot, how human are doing that task, human are doing that action with that robot. So applying the computational technique to the language domain to explain the linguistic theories, and the theories built the system can be a social use. When I need to do the programming in the robot, I need to do the programming in the machine, then the machine is identified, then the machine is able to understand the language, what the language is doing by the machine. The borrows from the linguistic and the cognitive science and the statistics make the computer learns our language rather than we learn that. Why NLP in the CS and the IT? The hallmark is the human intelligence as well as the artificial intelligence. The text is the largest repository of human knowledge and is the growing quickly. Nowadays, there are many applications out there, that application that is work based on the natural language processing. So for example, if I want to search on the Google, don't type it in the Google. I just speak it with the audio, and I need to on my speaker, and I just speak it. They directly search that words into the Google. What is it? That is the basically of the natural language processing in the CS and the IT. So the computer program that understand the text to speech language conversion as well as the speech to text conversion. And subfields as an intelligence. Some beneficial, successful nature. Language system where, yeah, my voice is audible, sir? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, my voice is audible.
Yeah, we can hear your voice clearly.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay. So in this, some beneficials and the successfuls of a natural language system were developed in the 1960s, and the natural language system working with the restrictions of the blocks of the words. So how the system is identifying that sentences and the words, that words is converted into the different blocks, and that sentence is converted into the different block, that is called as a SOP, speech of tagging in the natural language processing, and that is restricted, was written between the 1964 to 1996. So what are the difficulties in the natural language understanding? The first difficulties is the ambiguity. Ambiguity, that means if I am going to treating the word with the board, but there are many meanings are there of the board that the system is identifying. So the first of all is the lexical ambiguity, that it is the very primitive level such as the word level. For example, treating the word board is a noun on the verb. So here the system is not able to identify that the word is the noun or the verb. Same like this syntax level ambiguity. In that syntax level ambiguity, the sentence can be parsed in the different ways. For example, he lifted the battle with red cap. There are many meanings are there. Did he use cap to lift that battle, or he lift a battle that had red cap? See, here that is only the one sentence. But with that one sentence, there are the two meanings are there. So how the system is identifying? That system is identifying through the natural language processing algorithm. The next ambiguity, the next difficulty is the referential ambiguity. So referring the something using the pronouns, for example, Rima went to Gauri and she said, I am tired. Exactly who is tired? So here again the ambiguity. The sentence is Rima went to Gauri, but she said, I am tired. But exactly who is tired? So here in the natural language understanding, one input can mean different meaning. Only one input is there in the system, but the system is having the different meaning of that word and the sentences. That many inputs can mean the same thing. There are different, many inputs are there, but the meaning is the same. There are one input, but the meanings are different. So again, these are all are the difficulties. And in the natural language terminologies, the natural language processing have the different terminologies. First one, that is the phonology. The phonology, that is the one study of organizing the sound systematically. Here I'm speaking, here I'm communicating. So what is my sound? That sound that is understood by the system, that is called as the phonology in the computer science. In the morphology, that is the constructions of the word from the primitive meaningful units. How can I construct that one particular statement? That is the morphology. Morpheme, it is the primitive unit of meaning in the language. That one word, but that one word have the different meaning in the different language. The syntax, it refers the arranging the words, make the sentences involved to determining the structural role of the words and interferences. Semantics, it's a content meaning of words, how to combine the words into meaningful phrases and the sentence. If I have the two words, but how can I combine them two words into the machine? That is basically called as the semantic. The pragmatics, it deals with using and understanding the sentences in the different situations and how the interpretations of the sentences that affected. Pragmatics, that means in the computer science, how the system is interpret that language that is done by the people. The discourse, it deals with how the immediately proceeding sentence can affect the interpretations of the next set of sentence, and the world knowledge, that is the general knowledge about the world and the word. So there are many steps out there for the natural language processing. First of all, the morphological analysis and the lexical analysis. So the lexicon of the language is the vocabulary include its words and the expressions. The morphology depicts analyzing, identifying the descriptions of structure of words. Lexical analysis involves to dividing the text into the paragraph, words, and the different sentences. If I'm converting that Indonesia language to Indian English language, at the same time, the NLP is there. So in that case, how the morphological and the lexical analysis will be performed. So in that, whole the statements are converted, whole the paragraphs are converted into the different words and the different sentences. The syntactic analysis. In the syntactic analysis, the consent with the proper ordering of the word that can affect on the meaning. This involved to analyzing of the word to depict the grammatical structure of the sentence. When I'm speaking to the machine, when I'm telling something, when I'm instructing to the machine, at the same time, what is the grammar? What is the grammar structure? The grammar structure that is done by the So that grammar structure that is done by the NLP, that is a natural language processing, and in that the syntactic analysis. The words is transformed into the structure that shows how the words are related to each other. The girl, the go to the school, that is one word. This will that was identifiably be rejected by in the English syntactic analyzer. So in the computer, that is one analyzer. The synthesizer is there. That what is the synthesizer? The synthesizer that is identifying the language and they are converting that language into the meaningful form. So at the same time, the synthesizer that rejected that one statement. What is the statement is all about the girl that go to the school, but that is totally wrong. Semantic analysis. So this is concerned about the meaning of the words, phrases, and the sentences, the exact meaning of the context. So for example, colorless blue idea that will be rejected by the analyzer. Colorless blue do not make any sense together. Colorless, that is the one word. Color, space, and less. I want to write when I want to speak to the machine. Then I want to pause into the color in between the less. That is a semantic analysis in this computer science. Discourage integration. In that meaning of any single statements or sentence depends upon the sentences and the meaning of the sentences that follow it. The science of the context. The word it sense she wanted it depends on the prior discourse context. What is the it? It doesn't meaning. But if I want to add something with it, that she wants it, he wants it, he wants water, he wants tea, he wants coffee. It is the meaningful form, and that is done by the discourse integration. Pragmatic analysis, close off window, have been interpreted as a request rather than an order. Pragmatic, that means what is the tone that you are asking to machine? What is the tone that you are asking to computer? That is basically called as a pragmatic analysis. The pragmatic concern overall communication, that is a social context, its effect on the interpretation, how the system is going to interpret that word, how the system is going to interpret the sentences. When I'm asking, close the window. So this is the request or this is the order? Again, that is ambiguity in the understanding of the language, understanding of the sentences in the machine. That is the pragmatic analysis. Natural language generation. In the natural language generation, it is a process of constructing the natural language output from the non-linguistic input. So the NLG system may have two main parts: discourse planner, surface realizer, and lexical selection. So discourse planner, what will be generated? Which sentences are generated? Surface realizer realizes a sentence from the internal representation, and the lexical selection, that is a word describing the concept. what the word is describing, what the word is describing the concept. That is basically called as a lexical selection. Techniques and the methods. What other techniques are used in the natural language processing in the context of machine, in the context of the natural, in the context of the computer science and the IT? So first method is the machine learning. The learning produced during the machine learning that is automatically focused on the most common cases. What is the machine learning basically? The machine learning, that is the one learning database, is that the database that I want to train with the machine, that I want to train with the data set. So for example, if I'm developing, if I'm working with any of the speech recognition system, at the same time, it is automatically focused on the most common cases. Whereas we can write rules by hand, it is often not correct at all. So machine learning, that is basically work based on the rules. I want to identify the rules. I want to implement the rules in the machine. Based on that rule, the machine will be worked out. The concern on the human errors. If I'm speaking with the grammatical errors, at the same time, the machine learning is able to identify this is the grammatical mistake in the sentences. And that is basically used in the human and robot interaction. Statistical inference. So automatic learning procedure can make use of statistical inference algorithm. This algorithm that is basically used for the produce the model that are robust to unfamiliar input, containing the word or structure that have not been seen before. Make the intelligent guesses. The guesses, that means what is the probability of the one statement? What is the probability of the one word? What is the probability of the one meaning of the word? That is done by the statistical inference algorithm. The next is the input database and training data. System based on the automatically learning the rules can be made more accurate simply by the supplying more input data source to it. When I want to work with any of the system at the same time, that system is worked with the different data, different database, that is basically work with the big data analytics and the data mining. So at the same time, how to handle that all the data that will be handled by the data mining techniques with the NLP, the data analysis techniques with the NLP. However, the system based on the handwritten rules that only be made more accurate by increasing the complexity of the rule. If my rule is clear, if my rule is perfect, so at the same time, the machine learning algorithm, they are providing the good accuracy of your system, which is much more difficult task to implement this type of rules in the system, in the machine. But that machine is going to provide the type of functionality, that functionality is used to provide that kind of facility to implement into the system. So that is basically called as the input database and training data set. So what are the applications are there for the natural language processing question answering application? The question answering focuses on the building system that automatically answer the questions asked by the human in the natural language. Or that is basically called as a chatbot application. When we are working with the chatbot application, when I'm asking something, when I'm questioning something, they are giving me the answer. Most probably in any of the MNC companies and the university websites have this type of applications. That applications are useful to providing the answering of the question that question that is asked by the user and the clients. The next application, that is a spam detection in our email. So spam detection is used to detect the unwanted email to getting the user inbox. When we receive the unwanted emails, that is a spam classification using the machine learning model, NLP. So at the same time, the one mechanism is there in the middle after the email in the diagram, that is the natural language processing. With the natural language processing, we can detect the spam email, as well as we can classify the spam email from our inbox. Sentiment analysis. Sentiment analysis is known as the opinion mining. In the computer science, that is called as the opinion mining. It is used on the web to analyze the attitude, behavior, and emotional state of the sender. Suppose, as example, when I am posting something on the Facebook or on the Instagram, at the same time, when other people are commenting something, so based on that emojis, the system is identify what is the behavior of the system, what is the behavior of the people, what is the emotional state of the people, and what is the attitude of the people. So that is basically done by the sentiment analysis in the natural language processing of the computer science. This application is implemented through the combinations of NLP and the statistics by the assigning the value to the text and identifying the mood of contest. Either the mood is happy or sad or angry, right? So that identify the behavior of the human, that is done by the sentiment analysis. The next one, that is a machine translation. If I want to translate the Indonesian language to India language, at the same time, the machine translation is used to translate the text to speech, text or speech from one natural language to another natural language. When I want to convert the language to English to Hindi, at the same time, Google is providing some of the translation platform. On that platform, we can easily translate any of the language to one language to another language. That is also one application of the natural language processing in the computer science and information technology. Next application, that is spelling correction and the grammar correction. So Microsoft Corporation provides the word processor software like the MS Word, PowerPoint for the spelling correction. So when I'm writing something, at the same time, this application is providing me the facility, the features to give me some spelling mistakes. If I'm doing the spelling mistake, at the same time, they are giving me some red lines. So red lines is identifying that is embedded, that is there in the screenshot. The embedded spelling is different one, but I wrote the different one. So such that spelling correction that is identified by the system, that is also one application of the natural language processing. The next one, that is speech recognition. Speech recognition is used for converting the spoken words into text, and it is used in the applications such as the mobile, home automation, video recovery, then the Microsoft Word, video biometrics, voice user interface, and so on. Here I am presenting in the front of you. So what is it? Here the speech recognition is doing. I'm doing the speech recognition. That speech is recognized by the system and the software. Then you people are, listen my voice. Chatbot application. The chatbot application that is implementing the chatbot is one of the important applications of the natural language processing that is used by the many companies to provide the customers chat services. Information extraction. The information extraction is one of the most important application of NLP. It is used for extracting structured information from unstructured or semi-structured machine readable format. Suppose example, I have the Indonesian fonts, handwritten fonts. I want to convert that handwritten forms to digital form. At the same time, the natural language application is there. The natural language application, that is the information extraction. So how to build the NLP pipeline? If I want to build the NLP applications, how to build it? What are the steps that I need to perform? First one is a sentence segmentation. What is a segmentation? Segmentation, that is basically is the segmenting, that is a blogging. I have one statement. That statement is divided into the different segments, different blocks. So here in the PowerPoint presentation, that is one example that Independence Day is one of the important festivals of every Indian citizen. It is celebrated on the 15th of August in each every since Indians got independence from the British rule, and the day celebrate independence in the true sense. So here that is the one paragraph, 3 lines of paragraph. Now what is the segmentation? The sentence segmentation, that paragraph is divided into the 3 statements. Independence Day is one of the important festival of the every Indian citizen. That is the first statement. Second statement, it is celebrated on the day of 15th of August in each year ever since Indian independence from the British rule. The third statement is this day is celebrated independence in the true sense. So what is it here? The sentence segmentations are there. The sentence is divided into 3 segments. Second step is the word tokenization. Tokenization, that means, for example, Java T Point offers the corporate training, summer training, online training, winter training. So what is the tokenization here? Here I am tokenizing each and every word. Java Point offer corporate training, summer training, online training, and winter training. What is it? All the words that is called as a word tokenization in the computer science. The stemming, that means that is a normalize the words in the base form or root form. For example, celebrate, celebrated, and celebrating in the grammar. Here I'm presenting. That means here I'm presenting the PowerPoint presentation. Here I'm presenting one topic of the computer science, that is a natural language processing, in the front of all. Presented, that means I already presented. That is a past tense. And presents. So for example, intelligence, intelligent, and intelligently. So that is the one single root of the language that is called as a stemming in the computer science. Lemmatization. Lemmatization, that is quite similar to stemming. That is the one word, intelligence, intelligent, and intelligently has a root word of intelligent, which has a meaning. Identifying the stop word. There are a lot of words that appear very frequently, like as example, the, is, and. So NLP pipeline will flag with all the stop words. Stop words might be a filter out during any statistical analysis. He is a good boy. He is a good girl. In both the statement, is and is there. That is identifying the stop word in the natural language processing. Dependency of the parsing. That is how all words are related to each other. Pause tag, that is basically called as a part of a speech tagging. That is the system is identifying the noun, words, adverbs, and adjectives. The Google something on the internet. In the above example, the Google is used as a verb, and that is although it is the pronoun. Named entity recognition, that is the one system in the process to detecting the named entity, such as a person name, movie name, organization name, and the location name. And the last step, that is the chunking. Chunking, that is also same as the segmentation. When I want to divide that all the statements into the words as well as the statements, chunking is used to collect the individual piece of information, grouping the theme and the bigger piece of sentences. So these all are the ambiguities in the natural language processing. Now, what are the API? The API stands for the application programming interface. There are many APIs out there. You may use that API in your research work that is related to natural language processing in the field of computer science and information technology. So IBM Boston API combines the different sophisticated machine learning techniques. The techniques is able to identify the different language of French, then German, then Chinese, then Spanish, English. So this IBM Boston API that is basically used to providing the ad automation workflows. The pricing that is in the free for 3 trial days. They are providing 3 trial days. You may use this API for your research work. Chatbot API. This Chatbot API that is there, that is providing the Unicode character, classifies text and multiple languages. In the multiple languages that is there. The Chatbot API is the free for 150 requests per month. But if you want to purchase a subscription, at the same time, it starts from the $100 and $5,000 per month. The chat, this all the APIs there on the internet. You may search on the Google. It provides all the details, and it is used by the different researchers of the computer science. Speech of text API is used to convert the speech to text. Sentiment analysis API that is basically used for the sentiment, that is basically used for the opinion mining and the positive, negative, and the neutral. The sentiment analysis API is the free for less than 500 requests per month, and the price is the $19 and the $99 per month. Translation API that is basically used to translations of the language to one language to another language. Text analysis API that is the basically used to analyze the text, the textual
Sorry, sir,
content.
you only have 5 more minutes.
Yeah, okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Next one, that is the Cloud Nlp API that is basically used for the cloud computing. When I working with the cloud computing, Google Cloud Natural Language API. When I working with the Google Cloud and when I working with the natural language processing, at the same time, the Google Cloud Natural Language API is there. Now, these all are the libraries of natural language processing. These all the libraries are used to give a good research in the field of computer science and with the domain of NLP. SCI Kit Learn Library, NLTK Library, Pattern Library that is basically used for the web mining module and NLP and machine learning, Text Bulb Library, Blob Library that is basically used to provide the easy interface for the NLP application, QP Library that is transform the natural language questions into the queries for the database if you're working with the database management system. And you are working also with the emerging technologies of the DBMS and the NLP at the same time. This QP library that is used. The SPACI library that is open source library which is used to data extraction, data analysis, sentiment analysis, and text summarization. The Jansim library, the Jansim works with the large data set and process the data streams. These all the libraries are available open source on the internet. You may use any library based on your requirements of the research, and it is very useful to all, right? I'm using in my research work analytical library, and I will present my paper today. That is basically work based on the natural language processing. The title is my research is converting the speech to sign language conversion for deaf and dumb people. Deaf and dumb people, they are not listening anything, but whatever the speech, they are converting into the sign language. That is basically work based on the analytical library. I'm using the analytical library and with the natural language processing. So that is all the conclusion parts, that natural language processing have the many ambiguities, but nowadays we all people are IT people. So IT people have the skills to overcome this all the challenge with the help of natural language processing. In the future of NLP, there are many AI, artificial intelligence complete problems that is overcome by the natural language processing. The certain artificial intelligence problem that are making computer intelligence as a people, make computers as they can solve problem like human, think like human, as well as the perform activities that human can't perform, making it more efficient than humans. So nowadays, in the natural language processing with the computer, the robotics and artificial intelligence have the many features, and the action that will be taken by the machine that is very good compared to the human. As well as the natural language processing is the reliability improves, the device, the machine or the device is read the format, read the text from the page. Combine the natural language generation, computer will become more and more capable to receiving and giving useful and sources full information or the data. So the statistical learning methods that we used for the NLP, learning grammar, for learning statistical model, even the many techniques that we also learn that regarding the machine learning, even statistical inference that is used for the machine, that is used for the natural language processing. to provide the good accuracy. So this is all from my side, and I hope this session that is very helpful. That is very helpful to you people, that those who are working with the natural language processing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Dr. Mehta. It was a
Yeah.
very
Thank
interesting
you.
presentation about natural language processing. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to proceed with Q&A session of the keynote speaker session. I would like to invite the audiences to give question to the presenter. The question could deliver directly through our chat column with format mention your name, your affiliation, and question. So we already had several questions here. The first
Yes, sir.
question is from Ajeng Safitri, Universitas Indonesia. The question is, in requirement engineering, NLP might help the developer to obtain system requirement from the user. But there's problems about knowledge gap between user and developer, and also the lack of obtaining information from the user, because sometimes user cannot explain their needs. So how NLP help to overcome the problem?
Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Mehta,
So,
please.
yeah, sir. The NLP have the sufficient libraries, even the different APIs. That APIs that is basically used to overcome the challenges. These all the challenges. They are giving the opportunity to client and the developer, and the client can easily understand what the system is all about. And for the same, there are machine learning algorithms are there, maybe the deep learning algorithm that is used, even the fuzzy neuro classifier that also used in that to overcome that all the challenges. The
Okay,
next
thanks for
question,
the
if you
answer,
have.
Doctor. Yeah, the next question is from Mr. Dedi Darwis, Universitas Negeri
Yeah,
Indonesia.
yeah.
What is the role of semantic intelligence in application of NLP?
The semantic application that is basically used to identify the behavior of the people. So if I want to identify the behavior with the based on the signature, also there are many applications are there that based on the signature, the system is able to identify the behavior of the system. Behavior of the people. Even based on the signature, the system is able to identify the name of the people. So these all are the application that is used as a semantic intelligence in the natural language processing.
Okay, thanks for the answer,
Yeah.
Dr. Mehta. Again, we have another question. This question is from Mr. Codley, Universitas Negeri Indonesia. What
Yeah.
are the challenges of implementing NLP, especially in the use of regional languages?
Yeah. So there are many API is there. There are many libraries are there. For the Indonesia language, there is an Indonesian library for the natural language processing is that is available on the internet, right? So for each and every country languages, they have some different libraries and the APIs. We may use this API, and the challenges is when I'm asking something to the machine, but there, as we already discussed, there are many ambiguities are there in the to identify the any of the language by the system. So these all are the ambiguities that is overcome by the natural language processing. But with that, if I want to overcome this all the challenge, I need to implement the algorithms of the machine learning, as well as the algorithm of the deep learning, as well as the algorithm of the artificial intelligence.
Okay, thank you, sir. The next question
Yeah.
is from Mr. Sulaiman.
Yeah.
The question is, recently, Google has successfully developed an NLP algorithm, which they called BERT, while other company also addressing similar problem. Baidu with any, what do you think about it? About the method or algorithm? Will the algorithms help us to make computer have better understanding about so many human natural languages?
Yeah. BERT algorithm that is basically used for to translations of the languages. That is developed by the Google. So basically, this algorithm is used by the companies as well as that is used by the different MNCs companies. The BRT algorithm, that is the bidirectional encoder algorithm for the transformation of for the transformers of the different languages. So the birds, that is the key technical innovation to applying the bidirectional training to transformer. Even either if I'm transforming the different languages, so at the same time, this algorithm that is more useful for the company, and that is done by the that is published by the Google AI languages.
Okay, thank you for the answer, sir.
Yeah.
Another question is from Mr. Zainal Abidin.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, would you like to explain about the opportunity research NLP that join together with vision?
Yeah.
Okay, please.
So there are many opportunities of the research is there in the natural language processing. First application is all about the translations of the languages that is useful for the society. Suppose as example, if I want to translate my speech into the sign language for deaf and dumb people, there are no such applications are there in the market, but that people wants that kind of application, that people wants that kind of application, the deaf and dumb people, because when we go in the pandemic of COVID-19, all teachers are going to all teachers was teaching online to the students, but we people are the normal people, we can easily listen, we can easily speak. But what about the defendant people? The defendant people don't listen, they not listening, even they don't speak. So at the same time, whatever the here I'm conveying the message, they are translating into the sign language and they are displaying as a caption at the on the system, on the display, on the monitor. So that is also one a research and recent topic of the natural language processing. The second is identifying the human behavior based on the signature, identifying the human name based on the signature. So based on the signature, the system is able to identify the behavior of the people. What is the behavior? So these all are the recent and research topics in the natural language processing in the field of computer science and information technology.
Thank you very much for the answer, Mister. It's a really nice answer. Okay, this is the last question
Yeah.
from Danisha. In information extracting, if I use translate applications such as Google Translate from Indonesia to English or maybe other language, can NLP make sure that the sentence I want to translate could deliver what I mean in other language?
Yes, sir. It is possible, dear participants. It is possible because of reason when I convert any of the language to any of the other language. So at the same time, the natural language processing is already provided. There are many API as well as many library. One of the library, that is an NLTK library. That NLTK library is used to provide the conversions of the English language to many other languages. Maybe the analytical library is used, you may implement that library in your system, dear participants, and you may check it. But NLP is able to convert that one language to another language. And that's why the NLP is there in the field of computer science. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I mentioned before, that was the last question from this
Okay.
session. But uh, I think the participant really enthusiastic. So there is one more question from Mr. Amaruddin. Yeah,
Anyway, sir,
the
you may
question
ask
is,
many questions.
okay, sir. Yeah, as I know that NLP is a great for replacing human tasks like chatbots, but it
Yes.
lacks natural language ambiguity. So the question is how to overcome the lack of ambiguity for NLP implementation.
So again, for the ambiguity, uh, there is a there are many algorithms are there for the in the natural language processing. The ambiguities that is identify the different steps of NLP. As we already learn, as we already explained through the PowerPoint presentation, the lexical analysis, syntactic analysis, semantic analysis, morphological operation, even the segmentations of the sentences and the words, as well as the uh, lexical, even the syntactic analysis, syntax analysis. This all the analysis is overcome these all the ambiguities that is done by the people. That is one example in my mind. I made a duck. So there are two meaning. I made a duck, even I make a duck, or even I made a duck as a drawing. So again here, that is that ambiguities are there. So there are lexical analysis, semantic analysis, syntax analysis, and syntactical analysis are there. These all analysis, all the steps that we need to perform. Based on the steps, they are overcome these all the ambiguities, and that's why the NLP is there.
Yeah, thank you very much for the answer, Dr. Mehta.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we are now at the end of keynote speaker session. I would like to say thank you to our keynote speaker, Dr. Mehta, for this amazing presentation, and to all audiences for your involvement in giving question and discussion. Hopefully, your question has been answered and your needs for knowledge has been fulfilled. So as our
Okay,
token
so
of
thank you.
appreciation, you're welcome, sir. As our token of appreciation, we provide certificate for our keynote speaker. Here's the certificate. Thank you very much, Dr. Mehta, for giving such a valuable knowledge for us. And hopefully we can meet again on another occasion. Thank you so much, Dr.
Thank you.
Mehta.
Thank you so much, sir. I would like to thank the organizing committee to give me the opportunity as a keynote speaker in the international conference of Advanced Information Technology and Communication 2021, Indonesia, organized by the Faculty of Engineering and Computer Science, Teknokrat University, Indonesia. I would like to thank I would like to thank the Ardino sir to give me such an opportunity to give me this opportunity to participate as a keynote speaker in this conference. Thank you. Thank you all organizing committee, even the principal, dean, all the faculty members, even all the participants. Thank you all.
You are very welcome, Dr. Mehta. And
Thank you. Thank you,
that's
sir.
all for this keynote speaker session. Once again, thank you very much, Dr. Mehta. Warm greeting from Indonesia.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much, all of you. Thank you.
Okay, now we are about to begin the plenary session 1. Okay, welcome back to the second day of plenary session 1 of International Conference on Advanced Information Technology and Communication. We have the first plenary speaker in this session, Mr. Muhammad Lubis, PhD IT from Universitas Telkom, Indonesia. So, hello, Mr. Lubis.
Okay, hello.
Yeah, how are you, Mr.?
Alhamdulillah, good. I'm fine.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah, it's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
Okay,
Okay,
welcome.
so Muhammad Lubis, PhD IT, is a senior lecturer at Universitas Telkom, Indonesia. He has completed his Master and PhD degree from International Islamic University, Malaysia, Selangor, Darul Ehsan. Currently, he is head of Magister Program in Information System, School of Industrial Engineering, Telkom University. He published around 100 research articles and papers indexed by Scopus with H-index 10. His research interests in personal data protection, interaction design, network management, and blended learning. So without any further ado, now please welcome our first plenary speaker, Mr. Lubis. Mr. Lubis, you have 30 minutes for your presentation, and I'll remind you in the 25 minutes of your presentation. And Mr. Lubis, you are pleased.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity for the organizing committee for me to present my research. So before I present my research, right now I will tell about the foundation or the basic, especially related to the information assurance and security. Okay, the principles, yeah. So right now, as you know, yeah, every activity we optimize, we implement internet, yeah. We using online chatting, we using online storage, etc., etc. Almost every activity we using online. Beside the benefits, beside the thing that we want to achieve, that we want to get from the online activity for the online application itself, there are drawbacks, yeah, there are threats over there that we need to consider. So this is why those kind of information should be assured, yeah, should be certain mechanism to make sure the information that we deliver, the information that we accept, it is really good quality, yeah, in terms of accuracy, in terms of integrity, yeah, and any other aspect. Because if the information itself somehow, yeah, false, yeah, or reduce or jeopardize, it will give loss, yeah, in terms of reputation or any other negative impact to the organization, institution, as well as the individual. Okay, so this is the core principle, yeah. Previously, we known, yeah, we understand the concept of CIA, yeah. It is the concept derived from the SCM principle, talking about confidentiality, integrity, and availability. But right now, we move to another bigger picture. Not only try to secure the information, yeah, we do not only we are not merely want to protect the information that we deliver or convey to the other, but we also want to assure the information itself. So there are multiple aspects that we need to consider. So this is the principle, yeah, one of the framework that try to embed into the system, yeah, either comprehensive, independent, legal, apply, yeah, living document, long lifespan, customizable and pragmatic, risk-based approach, organizational significant and strategic, tactical and operational. Okay, so the aspect is not in one medium, is not only one channel, yeah, but it already embedded into multiple approach, yeah, meaning the integration, yeah, from the start until the end, yeah, the information itself, yeah. It's not talking only when you deliver the information, but you also need to anticipate, yeah, the worst case scenario or the attack that might happen, yeah, to your information. It is another aspect. We also need to see from different angle as well, yeah, different aspect in terms of the legal, yeah, in terms of the states, in terms of the application that we use, in terms of the storage or the device that we use, yeah. So this is like not only coin, yeah, that only have two sides, but it's like cubic that have 6 or more sites that you need to see. Yeah. And then we need to see from the broader protection. Yeah. When we want to assure the information itself, yeah, from, like I say, yeah, from more than 2 side or perspective, and then based on those information, yeah, the attack behavior detection, communication encryption, yeah, the control or the management of the domain, yeah, as the channel that we deliver the information. Those information, those broader information, we use as the fundamental for the defense in deep. It is one of the approach that we can implement, yeah, to make sure the information have the resilience characteristic. Yeah, previously I guess they only talking about the approach in terms of hide the information, yeah, either the sensitive information, the confidential information, yeah. But right now we got more active, not only passive, yeah, because the dynamic that exists, that occur in the interaction when we convey the message, when we deliver the information. And then by this kind of approach, yeah, defense in deep, yeah, we check, yeah, the anomaly, yeah, we check the kind of policy that we already implement, yeah, the kind of security protection that we already put into our system, and then based on those kind of information, yeah, defense in deep, we build, yeah, our security, we build the mechanism to assure to make sure the information have the good quality, yeah, or the proper quality that the interaction can be optimized. Okay, so this is the principle, yeah, because like I say, yeah, we are not only talking about secure the information or protect the information. So the principle somehow get expanded to another principle, yeah, to make sure every relevant principle get accommodated, yeah. Besides CIA, yeah, we also have authenticity, we also have accountability, so it can be recorded. There are log over there, so we can track, we can keep track, yeah, how those information going on, yeah. We also need to assure, yeah, there are non-repudiation over there. There's no duplication, there's no redundancy in the process. We also need to make sure privacy over there, yeah, because it's related to the rights, yeah, of each individual, yeah. So we can make sure, yeah, the secluded of information, yeah, there are differentiate between information over there. We also need to make sure the utility there, yeah, there are extension or addition of the capability provided by the operating system that we use. We also need to ensure the position, yeah, who possess those information, because like in the network, yeah, there are zombie over there, yeah, people that not actual have intention, yeah, not people, I guess the computer that not really instructed by the owner, yeah, can happen, yeah, when certain organization or certain institution, yeah, got access to the computer, yeah, a collection of computer, and then after that they can instruct those computer to do certain things, yeah. So the position is really critical, yeah, especially if you are talking about the cyber crime. And then last one, authorized user, yeah, that have specific restriction, I mean the privilege for the each individual when they utilize the computer. So those kind of principles should be there. And then if we already maximize, we already optimize this principle input into our system, this is the way for us to assure the information that we deliver. So this is the MSR model, yeah. In this case, yeah, it's not only about technology, yeah, but technology already become the enabler, yeah, in terms of business enabler. Yeah, every business activity predominantly attached to the technology. Yeah, whatever kind of activity right now, you need technology. Yeah, to make sure effectiveness and efficiency in the process. So this is what we need to take into greater picture. Yeah, so how those kind of technology not only solve the problem but also can give the benefit. Yeah, for the user. Yeah, in terms of profit or revenue, in terms of growth, how the organization can be growth, how the individual can be growth, in terms of not only the physic, but also the intellectual, the emotional, etc., etc. How you can satisfy those kind of individual. So this is the kind of benefit that we need to make sure, because enabler in here not only in terms of intrinsic benefit, extrinsic benefit, but also intrinsic benefit, not only material but also immaterial. And then we need to protect, interconnecting element of an organization system. It should be also cost effective and cost beneficial. Right now the research already done in many or vast university, as well as the research unit by the organization. So we need to be open, to adapt, to see, those kind of alternative, and then after that we can come out with our own solution. So this is how we can make sure, the solution that we offer, it is cost effective. Previously they isolate their research, they isolate their solution, and then somehow the system cannot work. There are problem in compatibility issues. So right now we cannot do that anymore. We need to be open, especially relate to our solution. And then another aspect, not only in terms of technology but also establish responsibility and accountability. And then method that we offer should be robust, reliable, and then it can be accessed periodically, meaning like I said, open. And then the restriction or the limitation by the social obligation that already presented by the legal regulation or the policy by the organization. So this is the assurance framework, the simple one. We need to have guidance. In short, we need to have guidance. And then the self-assessment tool, meaning we can do by ourselves. Not necessary we ask the organization, another independent organization, to assess ourselves, and somehow it's really costly, because you need to arrange the schedule, you need to make sure they follow the certain prerequisite or requirement that you incur for them, and then after that you negotiate relate to the tax responsibility of them. Takes times, takes money, takes effort. But right now for this kind of assurance framework, we need to make sure we have our self-assessment tool. And then after that, you also need to have quality improvement template. So meaning you have list of criteria, so you just follow accordingly, and then after that you can improve certain or pinpoint, the kind of the activity or the scheme, that you can improve. So this is in the bigger picture, as you can see in the right side, the assessment there, either you do trip modeling, you do the dependability analysis, risk analysis, or security analysis, and then after that, you get certificate, to show, or present that you already do systematic assessment. And then you also need to have security assurance, meaning you need to report it, you present, in terms of using business intelligence or dashboard, or using document, that you can sharing to the other respective unit. So why we do this one, why we need to make sure or assure the information in the good quality, because information right now become the assets as well as infrastructure. Previously, asset and infrastructure, it is the physical terms that we use to to divine the valuable things, to divine the thing that you can invest. Right now, information take into the picture. Every organization need every institution, every company really need certain kind of information, and if they have those information, they can tackle it. They can have competitive advantage compared to the rival, compared to the other entity that in the same market. So this is the reason why information become the assets as well as infrastructure. So this is why we need to assure, we need to protect those information, those assets, the thing that differentiate us with the other. We need to do regularly, the risk management. We need to embed those assets into the organizational policy, etc., etc. So information assurance also considers the way we present them, the way that people can access by having authentication. In the authentication, they will set certain privilege to each individual that want to access the information. So you give it the strict room, you give it the strict kind of access, what kind of information that you can access, not all information. So this is the reason why you classify those kind of information. There are sensitive information, there are confidential information, there are secret information, there are periodically information, there are information that got deleted, or garbage information, etc., etc. So there are classification over there. So those classification, will be based by the policy by the institution or the organization. So to be successful, it is vital for the organization to evaluate the sensitivity, the level or the degree of the power of the information itself. This is the reason why we need to do classification before we implement the information assurance and security to the organization. So those kind of sensitivity we use as the basis for the classification, as well as the criticality, in terms of the application that used to access those information. And then those two ingredient, two basic information you use as the what we call as the risk management, or what kind of risk that as the organization can be accept. And then this is the requirement that firstly we need to do before we implement information assurance to our organization. So the evaluation will be include, relate to the customer information, relate to the demographic, relate to the email, relate to the financial information, relate to program resource, and many other sensitive information. So this kind of activity somehow needs consent, from the people that are relevant to those kind of information. So this is why the legal aspect come into the picture, because there are trade-off, between security and privacy, and then assurance try to balance between those aspects, to make sure the security that we try to endorse, that we try to implement, do not neglect the privacy rights from the people. So this is why policy from the organization as well as the legal regulation by the government should be considered as well. So the need for information assurance. So this is in short, why it's really important right now talking about information assurance. The first, like I said, information already become the asset, so it's really critical for us to protect, those assets, and then because it's become the trend, many country see, this is the rights of the people, so they try to endorse, they try to enact, certain regulation to accommodate this kind of issue, So by having this one, you also comply, yeah, you also become the one that obedient, yeah, obey, yeah, or become obedience to the regulation by the government. And then you also having audit and compliance requirement, yeah. Why audit is really important? Because by having audit, yeah, you make sure you keep track, yeah, how certain outcome meet or align with our objective, yeah. Because yeah, whatever organization they have objective, yeah, those objective will be narrowed down into mission or project or program, and the program will have outcome. So how those outcome meet with the objective is really important. So by having audit, you make sure, yeah, the kind of budget that you spend is really benefit or meet with the objective. So meaning, yeah, best practice become best practice. And then you also providing competitive advantage to the organization, yeah, by having the information assurance, yeah, because everybody love assurance, yeah. Yeah, if you buy something, yeah, you will ask, yeah, ada garansinya tidak, ya, you have assurance or not, gitu. So we are talking not only before and then process of buying, yeah, but also after buying, yeah. Similar like in here, yeah, we are not only talking about when you deliver the message, but after you get the message, you need to satisfy, you need to assure, yeah, the information itself good, yeah, after they accept the message. And then those information can be used because it is asset, yeah, and infrastructure is really important to anybody, yeah, to everybody, yeah, after they get those information. Okay, so this is this the combination, yeah, information security, yeah, CIA, and then after that is expanded, and then information dependability, yeah. So when we talking about assurance, is involve security over there, yeah, how you protect the information. It's also involved, yeah, the dependability, yeah, the corresponding information to any other aspect, yeah. Is it demography? Is it character? Is it attachment? Metadata, yeah, the management of metadata. This is why we call information dependability. So by having this dependability, you can make sure reliability, availability, fault prevention, avoidance, tolerance, performance of the information. So those things, yeah, we blend together, we combine together, is become the information assurance, yeah. So by having this one, yeah, and then you can have the ability to recover from failure, fault, and security attack. Okay, so what is it, the difference, yeah, between information assurance and information security? Yeah? Even though at certain point, yeah, we also include, yeah, security after we are talking about information assurance, yeah. Because, yeah, in security, yeah, you need to be active, yeah, to protect, to anticipate worst case scenario. So as you can see in here, yeah, both people, both involve people, yeah, meaning in IA as well as IS, involve people, yeah, process, technology, yeah, administrative, technical, physical control. And then information assurance and information security are often used interchangeably, yeah. Yeah, while it is incorrect, yeah, because like I say, the information assurance, yeah, it is the expanded, not only in terms of technical from the information security, but adding another aspect, yeah. In the short one, by adding dependability. But in the bigger picture, you also include any other aspect, yeah, like cyber law, like the policy of the institution or organization. So it's related to the management and any other aspect that relate, yeah, when you want to assure certain information. So InfoSec is focused on the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information. And then IA has broader connotation, and explicitly includes reliability, access control, and non-repudiation, as well as strong emphasis on strategic risk management. So this is the difference. Yeah. So this is the common security framework. Yeah, as you can see, the list that people refer or people implement when they want to have information assurance. Yeah, either in the micro level or macro level. Yeah, there are ISO, IAC 27002. There are also IT Governance Institute, ITGI. There are also COSO, Committee of Sponsoring Organization, Federal
I'm sorry, Mr.
Financial.
Lubis, you only
Yeah.
have 5 more minutes.
Okay. So this is the principle, for the security, paradigm or perspective. Yeah, there are 9 principle in here. Yeah. Okay. This is also the improvement that we can do. Yeah. Not only implement the procedure or the framework that you see from the previous slide, but by having implementation, you also prepare, respond, or you create the measurement, counter measurement over there. Yeah. So you create strategy, and then after that, those strategy implement or become the policy, the basic policy. So this is the step by step how you can improve yourself in terms of information assurance. So this is the kind of strategy that you can choose. Yeah. The recommended one, of course, defense in deep strategy. But if the organization or institution do not have capability, in terms of the resource, in terms of the skill or competency, they can choose, either these two, security by obscurity strategy or perimeter of defense strategy. So the difference for the security by obscurity, meaning you try to hide certain information from the public, public domain. While in the perimeter, so you set certain criteria, certain authorization or certain privilege. While in defense in deep strategy, there are layer, over there, the approach of the layer, the data, how you handle the data, the application, how you handle application, the host, how you handle, etc., etc. So this is good quote, from the Bruce Nenner in the book of Secret and Lie. If you think technology can solve your security problem, then you do not understand the problems and you do not understand the technology. It is far more effective to think of security as an ongoing process of risk management that includes not just protection, but also detection and reaction mechanism. So this is why we are not only talking active and active and passive, but also talking about dynamic approach. So the kind of strategy that can anticipate, multiple attack, or multiple mechanism that try to exploit, from our organization or ourselves, try to take benefit from us without concern, or do illegitimate attacks. Okay, I guess this is the basics, that or the concept that we need to consider before we developing our strategies. Okay, I guess I will go to the question answer session. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Lubis. It was a very comprehensive presentation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the Q&A session of plenary session 1. I would like to invite the audiences to give question to the presenter. The question could deliver directly through our chat column with format mention your name, your affiliation, and question. Okay, from the chat box, we already had 2 questions. The first question is from Devan Kamaharani. The question is, as we live in Indonesia, there are laws for for electronic information and transactions. So in the perspective of IAS, do the laws solve the security problem well and let us feel safe for having private data shared on the internet? Okay, please, Mr. Ulbis, you can respond this question.
Okay, thank you for the question. It is like a philosophy question, yeah. Which comes first, yeah, egg or the chicken, yeah. So it's really difficult to answer, yeah. It is like you ask, either you try to improve or repair the system, or you improve or repair the person itself, yeah. For me, yeah, the one that can solve is not the system, yeah. It's not the regulation. It's the human itself, yeah. It's the individual itself, yeah. So it is in the ideal concept, yeah. If you have good quality of person, yeah, you have people that have integrity, yeah, whatever system that they use, it can give you benefit. It can lead you to advantage. But the problem right now, not all people, yeah, have good quality, yeah. So this is the reason why we have another concept of information awareness, yeah, information security awareness. Yeah, even though it's not part of information assurance, but it's become another mashab, yeah, you can say another school of thought, yeah, and it's possible to implement, but only for the organization or internal operation. So come to your question, yeah, is it solve the problem? Of course no, yeah, of course no. We have one regulation. I guess there are also undang-undang KIP, ya, keterbukaan informasi publik, ya, transparansi. We also have I guess certain technology, ya, also discussed in the undang-undang Adminduk, ya, administrasi kependudukan. There are also in undang-undang broadcasting, undang-undang kesehatan, ya, etc. Ya. We need to see that those undang-undang as the reactive or response from the government based on the issue that we raise. Yeah, so it's really passive. Yeah, so you cannot depend to the passive solution. Yeah, so it's not the solution. But what is it? Yeah, it is what we call as the supported. Yeah, or in the definition of compliance. Yeah, you just comply. Yeah, by whatever the government put into the radar, yeah, into the perspective. So in this case, it's not solution, but it is the compliance. Yeah, because yeah, you cannot do whatever you want. Yeah, you need to abide. Yeah, you need to comply to certain regulation. So regulation in this case, by the perspective or organization, it is the compliance. Yeah? The thing as similar like you as the student. Yeah, you need to comply to the organization, to your school, yeah, to your university. What kind of weight, yeah, the regulation or the rules that they implement, yeah. So this is philosophical answer, yeah. For the solution, I guess we are talking about the people itself or the system itself, yeah. So the regulation itself or the undang-undang, yeah, it is part of the system, yeah. So if you are talking about solution, we are talking about, is it the one that create the regulation, it is the one that good or have the awareness or not, yeah. Yeah, so this is the reason certain country, yeah, before you become elected or before you become the representative to create the regulation, you need to passing, yeah, certain awareness program, yeah. So this is my answer. Okay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lubis, for the answer. The next question is from Mr. Amar, Universitas Gadjah Mada. Currently, many institutions such as banking have implemented system security using zero trust concept. The question is the zero trust concept better than the perimeter security concept?
Okay, thank you for the question. Like I said, yeah, the approach that you can implement, there are three, yeah, right now. Yeah, there are obscurity, yeah, there are perimeter as well as defense in deep. Yeah. And zero trust, it is one of in defense in deep. Yeah. Meaning in here, you are not trust anybody, yeah, except the one that have, yeah, let's say certificate or the assurance. If the institution is really critical, yeah, it's better they have defense in deep, yeah, or like this one, yeah, the perspective of zero trust. They cannot trust anybody, yeah, because they cannot trust anybody. They will implement really strict, yeah, measurement over there, yeah. If they do not do this one, yeah, the internal, because certain, yeah, almost every research proof, yeah, the problem in security predominantly derived from the person, yeah, from the human resource itself, yeah. So it's not come from external, but comes from internal, yeah. So the bank, yeah, not only the bank, but also any other organization like the university itself, yeah, somehow that jeopardize the popularity or the prestige of the university comes from the employee, yeah, the lecturer, the students, yeah, not from the outside, yeah. So this is the reason by why zero trust come into the picture, yeah, and then it is part or integral part in the defense in deep, yeah. If you are talking about which one the best, yeah, of course it's related to the needs, yeah. It's related to the requirement for the organization. What kind of objectives that this organization, yeah, we can say, yeah, it is good for the bank, but maybe you cannot say it is good for the government. Let's say when government try to do electronic governance, yeah, let's say for the university, yeah, when you want to go or become the, let's say, professor, or want to become let's say like lektor, ya, or lektor kepala, ya, many prerequisite, ya, many requirement. So this is kind of, yeah, even though it is really debatable, yeah, it is kind of the principle that let's say like zero trust, yeah, that should be abandoned, yeah, because you serve the people, yeah, you need to give the service, yeah. So meaning in here you need to satisfy them by having, yeah, really compact requirement, yeah, let's say like one suit, and then after that you got, yeah, as long as you are eligible, yeah, you should have your rights, yeah. So this is the thing that you need to consider, yeah, when you want to implement certain approach in the information assurance. What type of organization are you? Are you serving people in terms of, yeah, public domain, or you just want to commercialize, yeah, you want to get benefit, yeah, or you compete with the other, yeah. So this kind of characteristic that will determine what kind of approach that's suitable or appropriate for your organization. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lubis, for the answer. The next question is coming from Mr. Ian Everhart from Budi Luhur University. While younger people can remember long passwords to make sure their data is safe, the older ones feel it is difficult to remember it. So how can IAS help the older to secure their data?
Okay, it is really technical, yeah. Usually, they will implement this one, yeah, in the organization that mostly, yeah, younger people over there, yeah, or yeah, at least in the age of, let's say, 40 or 50, yeah, the one that can be active, yeah. But for the for the older people, yeah, let's say like bank, yeah, so they still use PIN, yeah, and right now I guess certain attempts to have biometrics, yeah, it is the solution that try to recommend, yeah, for the older people, yeah. So older people do not need to remember, yeah, really complicated number, so they just present their biometrics. So it's similar like the zero trust itself, yeah, or the approach in the information assurance. You just try to see, yeah, what kind of requirement, yeah, you need to understand, yeah, your objective as well as your targeted audience. Yeah, and then after that, by having this one, yeah, in the bigger picture, yeah, of course you protect the information, but how you protect the detail can be different. Yeah, can be different. Let's say like in the university, if you try to implement biometric, it's really costly, so it's not cost effective. So better, yeah, as because you are younger people, yeah, you just remember, yeah, the password or the PIN, yeah. But for the older people, yeah, even though it's still huge, yeah, but compared to the another targeted audience, I guess it's really small, yeah, small number. So they can use, let's say, like biometrics or maybe another policy, yeah, let's say like assistance, yeah, or let's say like call center, etc., etc. But before we implement, we need to make sure to do simulation. Yeah, it is another aspect or testing our policy, yeah, our mechanism before we implement. Yeah, so this is trial error process before we implement information assurance policy. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lubis. This is the last question. It's coming from Mr. Agus Irawan, Universitas Lampung. Can the framework be used to analyze financial problems and loyalty in organizations?
Okay, so this is the another paradigm, another what we call it school of thought, information assurance in one picture, try to see from many perspective, try to balance, between dependability and then security. There are another one that focus predominantly to the security, like I say, information security awareness. So this is another school of thought. So for the I guess both of them can measure the financial problem as well as loyalty, because financial problem, it is the specific issue in terms of like I say, benefit. You can talk about not only revenue as well as profit, but you also talking about growth, you also talking about satisfaction, you also talking about innovation. So you see from the bigger picture, because when the organization see benefit for them, it's not only talking about revenue. There are certain organization just sustain with the loss because they target specific thing, either growth, let's say, either brand, let's say, or popularity, or maybe innovation, etc., etc. So those framework information assurance, they also see from the bigger picture. So they will classify those benefit, and then after that they come up with the solution to the problem, because they already identified the problem. So I guess the process will be long, if you're using information assurance, but it's really comprehensive. You see from not only from one picture but also multiple picture. But if you use information security awareness, you will pinpoint directly the financial problem. So really quick process. So this is the difference. What kind of school of thought that you want to use? Is it information assurance or awareness? And it's also depend to how you depict, how you define the information as the asset and infrastructure in your organization. If you're thinking information is really critical, so better you do having assurance over there, because it's really comprehensive. But if you want to make it quick, let's say you are in the university, rather than having assurance, you do awareness over there. So of course it can identify as well as prepare or anticipate strategy. There's no quick answer for that one. It depends on the specific detail or specific case. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lubis. Yeah, that's all everyone for this session. And ladies and gentlemen, we are now at the end of the plenary speaker session. I would like to say thank you to our plenary speaker for the presentation and to all audiences for your involvement in giving questions and discussion. And as our token of appreciation, we provide certificate for our plenary speaker. And here's the certificate. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Lubis,
Okay,
for
welcome.
giving such a valuable insight. And hopefully we can meet again on another occasion.
Okay, thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much, Mr. Lubis. And now, we are about to begin the plenary session 2. Okay, welcome back everyone to the second day of plenary session 2 of International Conference on Advanced Information Technology and Communication. We have the second plenary speaker in the session, Mr. Kodli Jafar Adrian from Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia. Hello, Mr. Kodli.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Kodli.
Hello.
Okay, how are you, Mr.?
Alhamdulillah, great.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah, nice to meet you, Mr. Okay, Kodli Jafar Adrian completed his master degree from International Islamic University, Malaysia, Selangor Darul Ihsan. Currently, he is the head of electrical engineering in Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia. He was a head of the game and multimedia specific group, a scientific group in Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia, and he currently teaches graphic design, multimedia, human-computer interaction courses. Without any further ado, and now please welcome our second plenary speaker, Mr. Kodli. Mr. Kodli, you have 30 minutes for your presentation, and I'll remind you in the 25th minute of your presentation. Mr. Kodli, you are pleased.
Thank you very much, our moderator, Mr. Aldino. Wait, I will share the slide. Thank you, everyone, for having me in this conference. This will be our last session for the speakers. In this session, I will give us the theme about EduTech Math AR book that we have done before. So the presentation is about the augmented reality and the application in this education, especially in mathematics. So as we know, augmented reality is a medium combining aspects from ubiquitous, tangible computing and social computing. Medium very unique, affordable, combining physical and virtual worlds with continuous and implicit user control at the point of view and interactivity. So it's very useful product that we already know, we already see today, especially using in the entertainment or the industry in business. Usually we saw it in, for example, in IKEA, when we want to buy some products, we can use it, the augmented reality application, to see if the products fit or not in our room or our homes. So it's not a new one. This is not a new technology, but the adaptation is very slow, I think. So it's homework for all of us, especially from the computer lectures, how to implement this technology in our environment. So the technology that we usually use, one is head-mounted display that usually used in head. They wore it in a head and then like a helmet.
so the people can see the virtual world using the glass in their help wanted display. And the second one is handheld. This is that we usually use handheld display. We are using our mobile phones. We're using the application that we have, and then we can see the 3D objects appear in the monitor or in our handphones. So it's usually used. And for this occasion, I will discuss about the implementation augmented reality in education that has been used in education, usually in primary school. They can use it in biology, mathematics, or other subjects. It can be used also for entertainment, edutainment to enhance user perception and interaction with the real world. So we go to the problem that we face in Indonesia. This is the rank from PISA research that they found that Indonesia ranked 71 from 78 in mathematics. This is the research that we have that they're done from mathematics, science, and reading literacy. So it's very low. It's the level is level 1 from 6. The China has the highest points from this research, and Indonesia is in the level 1, so it's very slow, very low, and we need to, as a lecturer, we need to improve these numbers. So we have problem in education. Before we already discussed about the augmented reality and how to implement this. From that problem, we have another problem that appeared from the COVID-19 that deepen the impact of disparity. Usually, there's many students that cannot handle the situation. They have problem with technological and other barriers that make it harder to stay engaged in virtual classroom. There are very many problems that appear from this online learning. Especially this research has been done in United States or US. The research also has been done from Indonesia perspective. That they found that there are 4 problems that appear from the online learning. The first one is, of course, the economy. They need to get the quota, internet quota for doing the learning from the work, and then from the home, and then the parents cannot give them. And then the second one from internet network. Not every place in Indonesia can already cover in network, so it already become the problem. Then also the teacher readiness. The teacher is not ready yet to teach student using virtual world, using online learning. So it's become the problem. The last one is psychology. Of course, the children, they need teacher to give them the teaching. They cannot do it by themselves, and then the problem is the parents also become busy, so it becomes a problem in terms of psychology. Then I will give the explanation about the research that we have done before. We have done research in augmented reality. We have grant from the Ministry of Education, Research and Technology. We are doing Math AR book that we think it's suitable for the problem appears. The research has been done at 2019 and 2012. So at that time, we found the problem that for the teacher in mathematics teacher has a problem that when they are teaching the mathematics, especially in geometry, they're using the cardboard. So it becomes a problem when how to give the explanation clearly to the students. They also do not know how to explain it using word, so they're creating the cardboard and then give the explanation to them. So it's one of the problem. We are doing the research in Muhammadiyah Primary School. It's one of the school in Lampung province. So we only take one, but I think this is a problem for many schools, especially in mathematics subjects. At that time, we are creating an application that we think that we can give a solution to them, where we give some function that can give them more explanation about the geometry. In this application, this is the Indonesian language. We are using two functions. The first function is two-dimensional figure, and then three-dimensional figure. Actually, we can give another function after this, but this is the research from the 2019 research. At two-dimensional figure, this is the book, so we are creating the books. At the books, we give the marker. This is the markers for two-dimensional and three-dimensional figure. So in this book, we have the book shape. We can give it to the students, so they can learn by themselves in the home. For two dimension, we give the shapes. There are some shapes that we create. For two dimensional, we give them the square, the triangle, the rectangle, the kite, cycle, and then the rhombus. And then three dimension, we give them the cube, cubate, triangular, pyramid, quadrilateral, pyramid, prism, and cylinder. This is two different dimensions that we think we can help the teacher to teach them better. In this application, we give them the formula so the students can understand the formula of each of this shape. For example, in this, the shape of two-dimensional figure. This is the shape when we can see the volume, so it can give the student a more attractive application. And then the second one, this is for the three-dimensional figure. We create the application. We give them the formula, the nets, the lateral function that will appear when the camera from the handphone see the marker that they found. The last one, the information about the animation will be appear. So it's not just showing the shape of the object, but it also give the students the animation, so they can see clearly about the net, about the letter of each of the object of the three-dimensional figure. This is the video for the object that we created. So this is the books. We have the objects in here. Which is made by Unity. This is the formula. So as we can see in here, the students can see the animation of the product. They can see the figure, and then they see the net, the lateral of the object. Yeah, this is the volume. So each of the objects will be shown. For the further research, actually, we need to collaborate with the educational research. There are some function that we can use or we can add to this application. One of them is like the task or the quizzes or the volume that can be added to this application for the further application, the improvement of this application. Okay. Thank you for this presentation. Actually, there are some problem that we face in this research that the augmented reality usually used in the entertainment purpose only. That it's not usually widely used in the education. So it is a homework for all of us how to adapt augmented reality in the real life, especially in education. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kohli, for a great presentation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the Q&A session of plenary session 2. I would like to invite the audiences to give question to the presenter. The question could deliver directly through our chat column with format mention your name, your affiliation, and also your question. Okay, we already have several questions. Yeah, the first question is from Mr. Danail Lochev from CIT Bulgaria. Okay, what do you think of, Mr. Kodli, about the term educational game in the current development of educational technology?
Thank you very much. Actually, educational game is like still in discussion because there are two different perspectives in the educational game. Some of them do not agree with the term of educational game. They believe that game is for the fun purpose only, but for the education is more like a serious one. So I think it's from my perspective, I agree that it must be different purpose. Educational game, I think it must be the like media, learning media. I think it's learning media, not educational game, because I believe that education and game it has a different purpose.
Thank you for the answer, Mr. Kodli. Next question is from Mr. Sugama Maskar from Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia. The question is, the problem of using AR in Indonesia, in my opinion, is similar to the application of online learning. It means that the problem is quite complex. The question is, are there examples in other countries that have similar situations and conditions to Indonesia that have used AR in education? For example, India or other country? If so, how best to apply the technology?
Thank you for the question. The specific country, maybe I'm not informed yet, but I believe there are some countries that already implement the augmented reality in the book. So they put the marker in the book, or they can download it in the book and then give them to the students. Especially today in this COVID-19 era, it becomes a solution actually. We can give them in PDF or links that can so they can download the application by themselves. For the countries, I'm not sure, but I believe there are some that already implement this augmented reality, especially for primary school. So they're not like what I present before, that there are problems when they are doing the online learning, when when the students cannot learn perfectly. because it becomes boring, or the question is not enough, or so the AR maybe become a solution for this pandemic era. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Corley, for the response. And the next question, and also the last, it's coming from Mr. Vincent. The question is, do you think AR can help students to understand or solve difficult mathematics problem? And can you elaborate, please?
For the difficult is, I think it's only for the basic one, for the introduction of the topics. It can give you more explanatory design. But for difficult mathematical, I think it's very difficult to create an application that can give you more expression to the students. So I think it's only for the basic, the very simple basic knowledge, not for the difficult one.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Kodri. And ladies and gentlemen, we are now at the end of the plenary session. But before we close our session, I think we have another question. Okay, it looks like our participant really enthusiastic with this topic, Mr. Kodli. Okay, this is the question. It's coming from Miss Diajeng Saputra. Okay, the question is, in your opinion, is education in Indonesia ready to use AR in the learning process?
Thank you for the question, Mr. Ajeng Saputra. From my opinion, before the COVID-19 is not ready. I think it's not ready because when we are showing them the augmented reality technology to the teachers, they are still confused how to use it. But ready or not, we must move to the blended learning. So like I said, this is the solution for this educational subjects or mathematics subjects or any education. So we must be ready. We must be ready for that. But for the research that we have done at 2019 and 2020, we are not ready. Like I said from earlier presentation, augmented reality usually used in entertainment purpose only. Usually used only for the entertainment. Education not yet, but we must be ready for it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Kodli. I think I missed one question, Mr. I'm sorry. It's coming from Diajeng Puspaning Tias. The question is, as the pandemic still remain, the education is done using online learning. So how can you say the AR technology helps students learn many subjects, especially for kindergarten students? Will AR help their parents teach their kindergarten kids?
Okay, this is the question for the kindergarten. Yes, actually it's quite same with what we have done for the primary school students before. The AR can give the basics explanations to the students only for the basics usually. I cannot say, I didn't say that it is not suitable for the difficult one like what another question asked before. But for the students, especially for the primary school or the kindergarten, they can learn from the augmented reality because the augmented reality can give the basic only knowledge for them. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kodli. Okay, and ladies and gentlemen, we are now at the end of plenary session 2. I would like to say thank you to our plenary speaker, Mr. Kodli, for the presentation, and to all audiences for your involvement in giving questions and discussion. As our token of appreciation, we provide certificate for our plenary speaker, Mr. Kodli. Here's the certificate.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, Mr. Kodli, and thank you very much, Mr. Kodli, for giving such a valuable knowledge. And hopefully, we can meet again on another occasion. And well, that was the plenary session 1 and 2. And thank you very much to all plenary speakers and all audiences. And back to the main room with our host, Mr. Piran Muhammad. And wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Welcome back again to the main rooms, and obviously that was the plenary session and going to be the last sessions of the International Conference on Advanced Information Technology and Communication 2021 held by Faculty of Engineering and Computer Sciences Universitas Teknokrat Indonesia in the year 2021. And for your information, this year we have the theme is elevating production level in an aging world. Well, this morning we have 3 plenary sessions, which is plenary session 3 from Associate Professor Abhishek Rajesh Kumar Mehta from Parel University, and then followed by Muhammad Lubis PhD IT from Telkom University, and last but not least, just now is Kodli Ja'far Adrian MIT from Teknokrat Indonesia University. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the parallel sessions will begin at 1 p.m. Indonesian time. The parallel session will begin at 1 p.m. Indonesian time. We're going to open the registration Zoom for the parallel session at 12:45 or quarter to 1 Indonesian time. So we begin at 1 and the opening Zoom will be open at 1:45. 1:45 we're going to open the Zoom registration for a parallel session, which is going to be the last session of the international conference. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's close the session by saying Hamdalah. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. Stick around on your application Zoom, because at 1 p.m. Indonesian time, we will begin the parallel session 2, which is your turns to do a presentation and to share your thoughts and ideas. Ladies and gentlemen, see you very soon. I close this session of plenary session by saying thank you very much for joining us and see you at 1 p.m. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.